Hello, people of the internet. Today I have a nice little König gameplay to show all 7 of you that are probably going to watch this. Now, this is one of those games where you just wonder, why did I bother hitting the battle button? It looks like a complete just blowout defeat for a while. And by the way, I'm fast forwarding here just because for the first 3 minutes I really don't do much other than sail to the A cap and not shoot at stuff, because the range is one of the only crap things about this battleship. But anyway, we, we're down to 5 ships versus 10 enemies at one point. It just does not look good. But clearly I would not have uploaded this as a first YouTube video if a blowout defeat was going to be the final result. Though if you do intend on pulling off such heroics, the König is a pretty good choice, because aside from the crap range and concealment, there really isn't much that's bad about this ship. It's the only tier 3 that can bring 10 main guns to bear against a single target, although you have to be full broadside to do it. But even being full broadside isn't really that much of a problem, because this ship has the German turtleback armor scheme, so it's rather unlikely that you would end up eating a citadel, particularly with the terrible accuracy of all of these other tier 3 battleships. Speaking of tier 3 battleships, enemy Nassau is the beneficiary of my first shots of the game, and that was rather unremarkable. Now, these tier 3s really are, they're not that exciting to play with. You sail for 3 minutes and immediately just get a salvo like that at your first chance of firing, although I am going to give it another try right here. Although the shot is going to be blocked by the island, so I'm going to have to estimate the lead and angle of this guy. And I completely donk it. Yep. First 2 salvos of the game. 1 pen and then a complete miss. Although at this point in the game, we've already lost 2 ships, and I'm honestly sailing around completely aimlessly. The team has managed to cap A and B, and well, we're losing C, but there's nothing really I can do about that. So I decide, you know what, I need to get closer to these enemies. I don't know why I did not shoot at that French cruiser. I'm thinking about it, but decide to hold my fire for some reason. I figured dropping off detection might be a good idea, but no. The Nassau has gotten even closer now, and well, because of that island, I can't even bring all my guns to bear on him anymore. So I decide to just sail into the A cap now for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's already covered, and we're about to lose another battleship. But I'm going to be making a mistake by doing this, because you see all those enemies down south of A? They're going to have nothing to shoot at but me for a nice amount of time. I'm just sailing in, keeping angled against this Nassau, which is going to get finished off by my allies anyway. But I'm sailing in here just thinking, oh, that Campbelltown smokescreen looks nice. I want to hide in it. And completely ignore just this battleship, the 3 cruisers, and I'm just going to end up eating probably a good 20,000 damage just trying to get from here to there. And yep, here it comes. Got a Phoenix, a South Carolina, 2 French cruisers, all just pouring fire into my broadside, and there really isn't all that much I can do about it. That enemy Wix just died. But yeah, I know I said earlier that this ship was good at tanking broadside damage, but that's assuming that you're really only fighting 1 ship at a time and that ship is firing armor piercing. The König is just as vulnerable as any other battleship to high explosive spam for a bunch of cruisers. That was a good hit by the South Carolina. Now, I'm in the smoke screen, and I'm turning away to try and foil the blind fire from all these ships. Now I'm going to shoot the Friant, see if I can get the full salvo going. Now, the Friant's armor is just paper. It's the worst armed cruiser in the game. It's still got a Citadel, but you can only get Citadels on that ship if it actually is angled, which is kind of a counterintuitive way to think about armor angling in this game. He's broadside on now, but in that position, I actually stand a surprisingly little small chance of killing him. The smoke screen's dissipating, so I gotta turn around and get out of here. Although it's at this point that I'm really beginning to realize the dire situation that my team is in right now. Everybody that went down to C has died, B is completely open, and we've lost 5 ships. Make that 6 ships, compared to the enemy's 2. Thankfully, I'm not being HE spammed as hard as I was earlier. These guys seem to be more preoccupied with sailing away, as am I. And, well, it appears our destroyer has completely neglected the fact that his smoke screen is dissipated and he's now taking fire. And at this point, I'm just hoping that my guns will start cooperating so I can start reducing the number of guns that are shooting at me and my ever-dwindling number of allies at the moment. Savo out at the Friant again. Is this going to be the kill? Nope. Oh, what was I thinking? Yeah. So, it's only at 3,000 health. Another good salvo will be able to finish him off. That South Carolina is still shooting at me. I'm on fire again. Though, hopefully the heal should mitigate that damage a bit. Yeah, 8 guns pointed at him now. This should be the kill. He's on 1,700 health. Okay, there we go. It took a second, but yes, 2 overpens did it. Now, I'm looking down to the south, and I'm seeing that a number of the enemy ships at this point are actually on low health. The enemy's capping B. Well, they've capped B now, and, well, our team is now just being pushed up into the corner. Though, it appears that French cruiser is about to run aground. Yep, he has. Salvo out. How many of these shells do you think are going to hit? None! Is that surprising? Although the other in echelon turret is actually going to score a hit. You have 1 pen for 1,500. Though, at least my allies are going to be able to finish him off. They set him on fire, so he's done. I am now going to snap a shot over at this Phoenix here before he gets into cover behind the island. He only has 6,000 health remaining, so 1 Citadel should be enough to put him down. And I don't get a Citadel. And though, thankfully, on 3,000 health, he should be, pretty easy for our friendly degree over there to deal with. So I'm going to shoot this Kuma now. I'm on 11,000 health. This is not looking good. But thankfully, the Kuma has a nice big Citadel. He's tunnel visioning on the friendly cruiser, so I'm probably not going to get torpedoed. And that's a nice hit. Now, here's where I'm going to actually suffer from a bit of indecision. I'm wondering, should I shoot at the Phoenix to help our friendly cruiser who is somehow about to die, or should I take another shot at that Kuma? I decide to try and go for the Phoenix, but the friendly takes him out, so I have to waste time bringing my turrets all the way back over. The turrets don't turn that fast on this ship, but at least I get a good shot on the Kuma, so that's kill number 2. And there's a Wix at 5 kilometers. Now, I'm actually using my 19-point Bismarck captain in this game just to try and earn some elite XP. Well, as much elite XP as you can expect out of a tier 3 game. Now, that means 5-kilometer range on the secondaries. But that proves to be basically useless in this game, as I get 1 secondary hit before just taking out this destroyer with my main guns. And oh shit, torpedoes. The Wix torps just took that long to get here, and yeah, that's a flood. Immediately repair that, and now I am in the rather terrible position of being stuck with a cruiser and a battleship in front of me on 6,000 health with no repair. So I need to get into cover behind this island in front of me as soon as possible, though thankfully I have my heal up, so I should be able to recover some health in the meantime. Now, I am focusing on this Friant because if he sets me on fire, I'm dead. But I really should have also shot at the South Carolina in the meantime, just because he's sailing broadside on and just is such a slow and easy target that I could have really just done a lot of damage, if not deleted him right here. But no, I keep just shooting and overpenning this cruiser. But, you know, what can you do? So, I'm now just turning my guns to try and take out this Caledon as soon as I enter in the B cap. And I also take a look at the score now. The odds are still somehow 2-1. Even though we managed to sink 6 ships on the enemy team, it's still not looking good. That Caledon, though, is taking a good amount of damage from the friendly Freon up to the north of the B cap, and the Torps take him out. So I'm now recapturing this flag, and have to turn my guns back around again to face this South Carolina. Shots out, and wait for it. Boosh! 749 health. That was the first really good shot I've had all day. Although, the thing is with tier 3 battleships, you get good shots like that, and, well, then he gets shots like these. He's shooting what appears to be high explosive at me now. I'm guessing he's just decided to start relying on DOT. Yeah, I get another good salvo on him, but his heal manages to keep him alive. Get another turret firing at him, just completely misses. Another turret firing at him, misses again. Yeah, just the accuracy on these ships, man. The rear turret's out again. Hopefully this should secure the kill, and there we go, finally. So now it's a 2v2. I'm capping the B flag. The enemy cruiser is now capping A. He actually resets me there, so it's going to be 50 seconds before I can leave this cap. Now, I'm focused on the engagement up to the north between our friendly cruiser and the enemy destroyer. So, this is basically going to determine whether or not we win this game. If that Isokaze dies, we are in with a fighting chance here. The enemy has now captured A. There's the Isokaze. And he is dead. This right here is the first time in the entire game where my team actually has the ship lead. So, right now I am sailing north to try and take advantage of numerical superiority while I can, and well, it appears that one of the enemies in chat wasn't exactly happy with how the Isokaze handled that fight, but hey, there's nothing I can do about that. So, now I'm really just a passive observer to this cruiser versus cruiser fight at the moment, and it looks like our friendly Freon is actually getting the worst end of it because, well, when you're dealing with the exact same ship, with a ship fighting itself, it's usually the ship with the most health that comes off best, especially in these low tiers where the ships are crap and there's a lot, and it's a lot harder to bring player skill into the mix. So I'm just hoping that my friendly cruiser can do as much damage to this enemy as possible before he gets taken out. And yep, there he goes. So now we're down to 1v1. I have twice as much health as this guy, but he can easily just will me down with fires, and all he has to really do is make sure he doesn't get citadeled while getting close enough to just nuke me with torpedoes. And considering the way my guns are behaving now, I'm just getting nothing but overpens and misses. It really might not be that much of a problem for him to pull it off. Yep, and there's a fire already. It's closing the distance. I get one overpen for 800 damage. He's only on 5,000 health. I use my repair, and I'm now back to hoping I just don't get set on fire again. Rear gun's out. Again. Get a good couple hits. That's 2,000 damage. So this should be looking good. Front turret's away. Guy in the chat says watch for torps. Doesn't matter. And that caps off the epic comeback. High caliber, Confederate, Dreadnought, Kraken Unleashed. The Fire Gods guy on the enemy team was actually up for a Kraken of his own, so GG to him. So, to all three of you that actually made it to the end, Thank you very much for watching. I am rotting my brain, and that's the video.